Hello everyone, a warm welcome to all of you. I'm Kalyani Bhinge and I'll be your moderator for today's webinar on latest updates in plastic waste management rules. I'm delighted to lead you through a session filled with exciting insights. Our wonderful speakers will guide us through the updates in plastic waste management rules. So let's take a look at our speaker panel for today. Our first speaker is Mr. Abhishek Garg, Chartered Accountant and founder of A A Garg Company with 15 plus years of experience in EPR compliance sustainability advisory. He has helped numerous corporations navigate EPR compliance and implement effective sustainability strategies. Next, we have Ms. Ipsita Roy, Senior Manager at A A Garg Company. Ipsita has a background in life sciences and environmental science, specializing in EPR and waste management. She educates corporates on sustainability and environmental responsibility, focusing on sectors like e-waste, plastic, and batteries. Now, as we start the webinar, I invite Ms. Ipsita Roy to start with the first topic. Over to you, Ipsita.
First of all, we are going to discuss the CPCB notice, which was released in December 2024, stating directly to various PIBOs, stating the subject on failing of filing annual returns for FY 2022-23 and FY 23-24 under the plastic waste management rules. This show cause notice was released to approximately 37,000 entities, including all PIBOs, and consolidated almost 14,000 crores of EC has been levied. Under this notification, the targets for 2022-23 and 23-24 under different categories, there were 5 categories that were listed, have been provided. The shortfalls under EPR targets for FY 23-24 are also being noted. And penalties were also, this is a warning notice basically, and penalties are certain implications. Based on this, there is a good news that the annual return filing for FY 23-24 has been extended to January 31, 2025. Therefore, all the PIBOs who have not yet filed the annual returns for FY 23-24, please ensure to file the annual returns within these 3 days. Next, CPCB issued the instruction sheet for PWPs on December 2024, wherein CPCB mentioned about the mandation for GST e-invoices while reporting on the portal. This particular step, which involves the details of buyers and seller GST numbers, IRN, date, HSN code, invoice number, taxable value, price restrictions on categories have also been given, and the QR code must be included. The validation states the invoices must be verified with GST network and the EPR portal before uploading. Mismatched or incorrect invoices will not be accepted by the CPCB. PWPs in this case have to ensure that all invoice parameters, including the QR code, are clearly visible before uploading on the portal. CPCB has also given a step-by-step procedure. The link has been shared in the instruction sheet. The next notification is for CPCB, which issued directions to 10 SPCBs and PCCs on non-compliant PWPs. This directive was issued to almost 13 PWPs. CPCB has asked SPCBs and PCCs to give an action taken report detailing the non-compliances and ECs which are levied. The non-compliance categories are based on plant machinery, GST e-invoices, processing capacity, and power consumption. The waiver criteria has also been given on 20% discrepancy in capacity or power and manual GST invoices. There were various regulatory meetings also being held within the month of December and January. And the first meeting, which was held on December 6 between CPCB and PIBOs, and the second meeting, which held on January 14, 2025 between MOFCC and industry associations, talked about reuse and Europe compliance. Talking about various challenges in the reuse and the Europe compliances, the industries and the PIBOs raised various concerns related to reuse, such as reverse logistics, contamination, counterfeiting, and feasibility issues. With respect to Europe implementation, the contamination, food grade applications, non-availability of Europe credits on the portal, and mass balance approach were discussed. Emphasis was given on the food grade application and FSSAI approval. The decisions in this case are pending. The target for Europe are starting from 1st of April 2025. The clarity on compliances is still pending, and we need to check FSSAI certificate for food grade exemption and submit a letter of exemption to CPCB on case-to-case basis. There was a second meeting held with MOFCC and manufacturer and producer industry on January 16, 2025, which discussed on transfer of APR liability from micro and small producers to raw material manufacturers and importers under the amended rules. There were various industrial associations, and the ministry had heard all the concerns, and the discussion in this case is yet pending. Updates in guidelines from CPCB. The first guideline that is issued is regarding the SIMP registration. SIMP, as we all know, stands for S stands for seller of raw material, I stands for importer of raw material, M stands for manufacturer of raw material, and P stands for all the micro and small producers. So the guidelines have been issued by CPCB, which instates self-registration on the EPR portal. The procedure is same with documentation requirement for PAN, GST, Udyam certification, etc. The application fee which is mentioned is rupees 10 per ton for manufacturers, importers, and sellers, while rupees 5 per ton for all the producers, micro and small. 25% annual processing fee will be levied. Applications processed will be processed by SPCBs and PCCs within 15 days. False information leads to rejection and forfeit of fees. Annual returns must be filed by June 30th. Compliance requirement is same, no sales to unregistered entities. Further, CPCB also issued the guidelines on EPR ETP, which will be the trading platform for trading generation and trading of the EPR credits. The key highlights of this particular guideline is uniform price discovery, and there will be a weekly fixed price in the continuous market. PIBOs and PWPs have to register in the trading platform, and then only they will be authorized to trade. Escrow accounts will be used for purchasing the EPR certificates by PIBOs, and there will be credit transfer on the CPCB portal. This particular trading platform will be utilized across the waste categories for plastic, tire, e-waste, battery waste, and used oil. Registration is a mandatory for all the buyers and sellers. This is how the PIBOs and PWPs will be categorized. This particular registration will be valid for 15 years with renewal required. And the annual report and audited balance sheet will be submitted by 30th of September. An annual there will be a registration fee which will be charged by for the registration, which will be 50% of the application fee. There will be an annual processing fee which will be 25% of the registration fee, and a transaction fee which will be 4% of the transaction amount. Moving onward, coming to the recent amendment that has been released by MOFCC under the Plastic Waste Management Rules on 23rd of January 2025. There are two major clauses that are being added. The first clause, which is an addition to the Marking and Labeling Rule 11, it's an option for PIBOs who can now also print barcode or QR code on the plastic packaging of the marking and labeling requirements that are mentioned in Rule 11.1. They can also print in the product information brochure or use a unique number on plastic packaging after fulfilling marking and labeling requirements of Rule 11.1. PIBOs who will be opting for any of on any of these methods must inform CPCB, who will also update this information in their website quarterly. The second insertion is the Rule 19, which talks about action for contravention. Action for contravention with the rules will result in penalties as per Section 15 of the Environment Protection Act 1986. This rule states that individuals or companies who are violating the rules of plastic waste management will have to levy fines. Individuals have to pay the fines of ranging from 10,000 to 15 lakhs. With a repeated violation, the charges will be 10,000 per day. The companies will have to pay 1 lakh to 15 lakhs with 1 lakh per day for ongoing violations. There is also penalties for government officials who will be charged with 1 month's salary as a penalty unless due diligence is proven. The enforcement will be there for the adjudicating officers. Investigation will be held. The penalties will be imposed and orders will be appealed by NGT. Non-payment or continuous violation may lead to imprisonment for up to 3 years, double fines, or both. Moving on, Himachal Pradesh has issued a notification recently on 21st of January 2025, wherein it has extended the ban on plastic items with immediate effect under the Himachal Pradesh Non-Biodegradable Garbage Control Amendment Act 2023. This particular notification includes bans of single-use plastic items such as carry bags, thermocol plates, cups, cutlery, and biodegradable or compostable bags. Biodegradable bags, despite being eco-labeled, do not degrade effectively in the Himachal Pradesh cooler climate, and therefore the notification has been released. The sale and use of these bags will be prohibited in the state. The penalties for violations are also mentioned for which will be ranging from 500 rupees to 25,000 rupees, and littering of prohibited items will incur a fine of rupees 5,000. Manufacturers of certain bags can continue the production if they sell outside the state. This ban is effective immediately with a 3-month grace period for biodegradable bags. Moving on to the second notification, it's a direction which is issued by Maharashtra Pollution Control Board to the PIBOs under Section 5 of EPA Act 1986 for compliance with plastic waste management rules and the Maharashtra Plastic and Thermocol Notification 2018. This particular direction, which is issued to the PIBOs, talks about ban on single-use plastics. It also tells about what are the exemptions that are allowed. Observations and violations, such as during the enforcement drives, banned SUPs were found at various brand outlets, restaurants, and malls. Some compostable straws, cups, plates, and bowls were used without QR codes and CPCB certification. The directions which are issued ensure banning of single-use plastic items. Only the compostable items such as straws, cups, plates, bowls, etc. that have the CPCB certification and the QR codes will be allowed. Any plastic carry bag, be it compostable or non-compostable, are banned in every outlet of Maharashtra. entities have also been issued a deadline to file a compliance report within the 15 days. And non-compliances may lead to actions under Section 15 of the Environment Protection Act 1986 and the Plastic Waste Management Rules 2016. So this is all about the various notifications that have been released by CPCB and SPCBs. A little about A A Garg Co. A A Garg Co is a management consulting firm specializing in the domains of EPR, ESG, corporate finance and business operations, and tech-enabled solutions. We are working in this industry since more than half a decade now and have been serving more than 200 plus companies. Our domain of services in the spec of EPR also stands with three major pillars. That is for EPR compliances, which majorly involve the registration and the post-registration compliances, including the advisory. The risk assessments for your manufacturing units, for your PWPs who are working, for the collection centers who are supporting you in the fulfillment of the EPR target, and various consulting and advisory services with respect to your footprint assessment, advisory for circularity solutions, implementation of the frameworks, and training and capability building sessions. That is all. I hand over back to Kalyani.
So now I would like to thank Mr. Abhishek and Ipsita for their valuable insights. And thank you every one of you, each one of you who have attended the webinar. Thanks a lot. If your queries are unanswered, please book a consultation and you can ask your queries in detail. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.